All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's do a brief sound and visual check. How was your trading day? It was a bit of a volatile one. Basically closing right where we started in the NASDAQ. Looks and sounds good. Good, great. How's everybody? Classes in session. Good. Great. Give me a few minutes while I get a few things set up on my end, and then we'll just get at it, as always. Loud and clear. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, in the YouTube chat, there is our risk disclosure. I say this every single night. Everything I talk about in Slow Markets is for educational purposes only. It is definitely not a signals class. And yeah, we'll do our regular Slow Markets. It's just me tonight. Big shout out to Nick for a Tick, who's with me on Tuesdays, and Coach Jay, who's with me on Wednesdays. It's always fun to have him there. But back to just regular old me. And yeah, we'll do our rapid fire. We like to analyze, the NASDAQ. Obviously, you can see there's the NASDAQ daily chart, then crude oil, Nikkei, and then, which is the Japanese market, and, finish it off with gold. And then do some fun Q&A. And I haven't went through statistics for a while, so maybe we could do some fun statistics. What that is, if you guys haven't been here before, is, if you submit your statistics to me, I'll, maybe take an opportunity to review those at the end of class. But let's get going. It's going to be a fun one tonight. NASDAQ daily chart. We had news come out, right? And it sounds like there's going to be news tomorrow. It is Thursday night. Kind of a indecisive day, right? Here's the daily candle where whenever we start really close to where we finish, or wherever we finish, very close to where we start. It's a doji. It's a candle. It's indecision. And it makes sense that there is indecision near a key area of support and resistance. So this is an area of support and resistance, and the fact that there's indecision there is no big surprise. The question that we always are asking ourselves is, are we going to be breaking out to the long side, or are we going to be going back down and maybe testing these 20,200, 20,000, right? Maybe to the low of the range. However, the way I'm seeing this is I'm looking at today to be a major candlestick. I'm looking for the high of today and the low of today to be an indication of what I'm going to be looking for. Are we going to consolidate and stay inside and have a consolidation day? I'm going to be looking for us to either break out from the New York sessions, or basically yesterday's candle high, or are we going to break down and go back into this range? So I think today put a good area of reference in terms of the high and the low, because if we're looking for a 3-bar reversal, the 3-bar reversal will technically be if we break below this candlestick, and if we have that continuation, obviously a break above that candlestick, that previous day. So this is a major candle that I'm going to be watching, and I'm sure everybody else will. Tomorrow is Friday, and take that into consideration as well. So let's zoom into an hourly chart. Let me get rid of that box, and then you kind of see what I was referring to, where lots of consolidation. It's buy the dip. I still looks like a very consistent buy the dip market. Obviously looking at the hourly chart, you could see higher low, higher low, higher low, and then another higher low. I mean, this is maybe an equal low, but take a look at this. It's interesting to see today we did come down. This was resistance. Resistance became support right here. And so that could have been a great opportunity to find some longs, 3-bar reversal on the 1-hour chart. We did get all the way up to 20,500. We did touch it, pulled all the way back down, but yeah, still buy the dip market. It's been bullish. We're making higher lows. And I mean, technically we're making higher highs still, right? We made a higher high today, but we kind of settled right back down into the middle. Hence is why that daily candlestick is started right pretty dang close to where we finished. And as we continue to zoom in, It's just gaining clarity, and we could start to see it a lot more. We are making higher low, and maybe we're starting to form some type of a pattern here. I love patterns. I'm a technical trader. I don't know how you want to draw this. Sometimes that's one of the hardest things to do is knowing where to draw it. It's more about being consistent with how you approach it. And yeah, maybe we break down and maybe we just look at this as consolidation and we play it as consolidation, where this could be something to it. Looking at this as consolidation inside this range to where we look to sell the upper end of the range and buy the bottom end. Like, that is definitely a possibility for what I'm going to be looking at tomorrow. If we get up here, I wouldn't be too against looking for some short-term scalps to the downside. If we get down here, I'm going to be looking for trades to the long side. I'm going to be more aggressive buying it down here just because that's the direction the market has been going, up and to the right. So I'll be more more aggressive looking to buy at the bottom than I would be looking to sell at the top, I guess, if that makes sense to you. Anyway, let's move on. Let's take a look at crude oil. Let's take a look at a higher time frame chart. Sure enough, guess what? Coach Jay, I wonder how Coach Jay's oil trade worked out. If he's in the chat or if anybody knows how that trade was for Coach Jay, I mean, it was a beauty. It was... Yeah, I mean, that's all it was that was a higher low, and just like we were talking about last night, was looking for us to break into towards 74, 74.50. We got that, seeing a little bit of resistance there for it looks like an hour, and then we continued. We broke through. We got to 75.50s, even got to 76 and a quarter, and yeah, that was the trade. Like that, you couldn't plan it better than that, and it couldn't set up any better. We're kind of in the middle of this consolidation. Yeah, let's see. Coach Jay, I'm curious to see. Coach Jay nailed the crude oil. Yeah, he had crude oil. I think he was long, if I remember right. I think Jay was long, and he was long in an account that matters, crude oil. That was a beautiful thing to watch that, and it played out really well. And so the question is now, where do we go from here? And I do know that this is an area where it's became resistance before, right? There's a lot of resistance at this 76 level. And so is this going to be resistance again? We just don't know, right? So there could be an opportunity to take a short, and maybe we look for a short and a continuation, or not continuation, a pullback, maybe a pullback to 75. I'm less for that, just because it's going against what the current trend is, but that's something to pay attention to. What I would prefer is I'd like to see a pullback, and then an opportunity to buy it to see if we can make a run up to the high of around $78 a barrel. But we're kind of in the middle of this, right? This is the pullback, the big pullback, and we're right in the middle of the pullback. And so it's very hard for me anyway to find a trade opportunity on while we're right in the middle. You can see we had the consolidation here on the 8th, and we're right there again. And so there is a realistic chance that we have a pullback, but then there's also a realistic chance that we have that just a continuation. And so being in the middle, it's honestly a coin flip, and I don't like the risk reward to either side. I'd much rather us have some type of a pullback and then look for longs. I don't know how deep of a pullback, right? I don't think we're going to be seeing something like this. That's a pretty big pullback, and if this is an hourly chart, yeah, I look for a continuation, just depending on how we get it. Tomorrow is Friday, and so maybe it's a better decision just to not touch crude oil. I'm not going to be looking to trade crude oil tonight, maybe even tomorrow. Maybe we get a pullback tomorrow, and then there's an opportunity. Outside of that, I'm going to pass on crude until we either get a pullback or some type of better setup. Now let's take a look at the Nikkei. This is the Japanese market. We are pretty dang bullish. We are we are rallying. We are rallying pretty hard on the Nikkei. This is an hourly chart, and you can see what I was looking at last night. I mean, this is what I'm talking about in terms of like, how do you draw this, right? These are zones. We did break out. Looks like we was trying to sell off a little bit, but this did hold. Higher low. We're making these higher lows. This is debatable, right? Was this a higher low and then we broke below that? Maybe it ran liquidity. Maybe we faked a lot of traders out, ran some stops, and rallying right back up. And so this is something I'm going to be watching, and I talked about it last night. This is an interesting flagging pattern, and if we do break, we could definitely gain some momentum. That we have this big round psychological number right here at 40,000 in the Nikkei, and heck, I mean, the way the market's going tonight, maybe we see 40,000 tonight. Let me zoom into a smaller time frame and take a look at that. I mean, this is quite the move. I mean, it's not a crazy move, but it's pretty bullish. 0.6% from bottom to top of this leg so far. The next resistance I am seeing is going to be up here. Just right around 39,830, 850. I don't want to short this right now because there's no major resistance. Maybe, just maybe, if we get up here and see some type of consolidation or reversal pattern, there could be an opportunity to short it. It's very hard to short the Nikkei, especially when we're trading in such a the momentum, right? The momentum and the trend is up and to the right. I would rather wait, just like crude oil, just wait for a pullback and look to see if we could get in at a great price to see if this market does break to the long side. It'd be nice to be in it because you could see when the Nikkei does break and it has these big moves, it's a great market to trade, and it does move. It is $25 per tick, so it's not something I would recommend anyone to be scalping or trading it, but I do talk about it because it's slow markets. The Asian session is open, Japanese market's open, and this is the Japanese market. I'd rather wait for a pullback and then an opportunity to get in long. So one thing I am noticing now that I'm watching this seeing this on a smaller time frame is, there's some resistance there. I need to get better at drawing so I could draw a bit quicker. Maybe I could do something like this, but there is something to this where maybe we get this breakout and then we could find an opportunity to get in long on a pullback and then look for continuation. So maybe something like that, very similar to crude oil. I think it's just better to be sitting on our hands, being patient, waiting for a trade to set up. Now let's take a look at gold. Question for everybody in the chat. Does anybody here trade silver? I've seen a lot of talk and a lot of conversation around silver. I do trade gold. I do like to trade gold, but I'm curious on what everyone's opinion is on silver. Alt-Shift-R is rectangle. Alt-Shift-R is not rectangle for me. It mimics gold. It mimics gold. Silver mimics gold. So here's a daily chart. One thing I noticed on the daily chart, silver's high yield. I like silver more than gold. Is there a micro silver? What about platinum? $25 per tick. Interesting. A lot of silver traders. Interesting. Very interesting. Is it identical to the way gold moves? And these are honest questions. I'm curious about silver because I've seen a lot of talk. Silver is your punk P&L for never traded silver, never traded. Interesting. Maybe we could take a look because I'm curious. Traders are talking about it. Whenever traders start to talk, I always enjoy listening. Silver is micro, very close to gold. Is it how correlated is silver to gold? That's an interesting question. So let me finish analyzing gold, and we could talk more about gold and then continue that discussion. So here's a daily chart on gold. Take a look at this. this is officially a 3-bar reversal on gold. Take a look at this move. You remember Coach Jay and I was talking yesterday how that was a major support and resistance, and we could see a bounce up and maybe a run to these 2650, this nice zone. Well, we got it. That was a beautiful opportunity to get in long gold. If we zoom into an hourly chart, you could see it. It's a lot more clear where we could go zoom out. We were talking about the high of the FO or this candle, the news candle, when we got the interest rate decision. We came down, we tested it. It looks like we even ran a little bit of liquidity, ran some stops right there down to 619. And yeah, bullish. We went straight up. So now the next question is, where do we go? We are running into a pretty decent amount of resistance right here. This is an interesting resistance level. So, I wouldn't be too opposed to maybe a short opportunity in gold. Now, I do hesitate on shorting gold because we're in a strong bullish market and we just seen a 3-bar reversal on the daily. But on the shorter term, maybe for a much shorter term trade, maybe we see, and I'm talking about these pullbacks. Maybe we see a pullback in gold for a short. And we're up against resistance, and if we're going to be talking about decent risk reward, this could offer an opportunity. I don't know. This was major support. Support here, support, few points of support right around 2650s. And so, will this support become resistance? I don't know. We could watch it and see, and maybe look for an opportunity. Let's take a look at the 5-minute and continue to zoom in. 5-minute, you can see it's bullish. You can see where we broke out. This was resistance. We broke out. Resistance became support. And we're hovering right now around 2650. And let's get your guys' opinions. Now, maybe we can pull up silver too. Let's compare the two. Here's gold, and let's take a look at silver. So there's gold. I'm gonna unlink this one. Now let's take a look at some silver. Okay, silver is on the right, gold's on the left. I don't know. I like to make a reference. I'm going to put a point of reference, a vertical line. I'm going to just do a point of reference right there. And this, I always like to do like a reference point to just compare the two. It's not exactly, it looks like silver does not move as much as gold. Like this is a decent move on gold, and then silver didn't really follow through on that. Gold is more chop. GCCI not closely correlated in its short time frame. Yeah, I think on the shorter time frames they might not be correlated. Let's take a look at an hourly chart. But yeah, the hourly chart, I would say sure. If we're analyzing silver, they look pretty similar on an hourly chart, right? You can see where, and I like doing this sometimes. Take a look how gold ran some stops, ran liquidity down here below the low, right? So that's something to pay attention to compared to silver, right? Silver didn't do that. It held and it didn't run. And so sometimes you can compare markets like this. I don't do it all the time, but I think that this is a good point just so that traders can see. And the way I'm seeing this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just a complete guess, okay? If I was to compare these markets, gold, this one's gold. The left right here is gold. Gold and silver they seem a lot like how the NASDAQ and the ES act, right? Over here on the left, this could be like the NASDAQ where you could see it run stops. It's a lot more, choppy or, volatile. And then over here on the right is silver, and maybe you could compare it to like ES, right? ES might not run a stop as much. They're sister products, right? So that is where I'm getting it from, and like looking at this. Does that make sense to you guys, or is that way off on my analogy? Perfect analogy. So that's how I'm seeing it. If you like a more tame market, maybe silver. If you like a more volatile market, gold. And when you compare them, you could do the same thing to like over here on the left, gold. You could say NASDAQ, silver. You could say ES. And then maybe you could say the same thing, right? You could see how the NASDAQ is a little bit more crazy than the ES. In terms of the way it's acting. So that's an interesting, I thought I might share it because I seen traders talk about it, and I'm like, well, how does that compare? How would it affect me? How do I analyze this market? And it makes sense why the way I trade, I prefer gold, which also makes sense because the way I trade, I prefer the NASDAQ over the ES because I like the volatility, and that's just my own style of trading and the way I like to trade. That's it. So yeah, that's a fun perspective. That's always something that you could just pay attention to. Does it mean anything? I don't know. Does it mean anything to me? No. But I think it's always good to understand that. And of course, the tick value is going to be different. The tick value of gold is $10 per tick, or oh man, not $10 per tick. Dang it, why can I not remember? The tick value is different. I'm just gonna say that it's $25 per tick on silver, correct? And then it's, oh my gosh, I am drawing a blank here. It's $10 per point. Is it per? Yeah, it's gold's $10, silver's $25. Yeah, tick is 10 cents on gold, and it's 10. Yeah, okay. I knew I was right. I was thinking micros and minis or whatever. But we're good. We're good. Gonna get rid of this. All right, back to slow markets. Let's get to some Q&A, and I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna continue to keep my eyes on the market. You can see I have my live account open and up and ready. I'm always a trader first, but let's get to some questions. And yeah, fun stuff. Give me a second. We'll get to some questions. Christy says, do I think there would be a big jump in the S&P tonight with a Tesla robotic announcement? Christy, I did not even know about the Tesla robotic announcement, to be honest. Maybe that could bring some volatility in like markets that are affected by Tesla, and I think that the NASDAQ might be affected more than the S&P by a Tesla news event. I just like, and Coach Jay and I talked about that last night, is regardless of what happens in the market, we want to react, like thinking we could see a spike or a sell-off. Whenever there is an announcement, like, okay, there's a robotic announcement. So instead of thinking up or down, we need to think just volatility, and then we react. Alt-Shift-R worked for you. Alt-Shift-R, it's just a risk-reward tool. Forecasting, measuring, long position. Watch. It'll probably tell us right here. I'm going to check this out while we're live on stream. Does it not? Alt-Shift-R. Weird. That's weird. I don't know. Not sure. I'll have to keep playing around. I need to get better at doing that. In a losing streak, how to fix? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could ask maybe in more detail. Should I do analysis in TradeView chart or in the Topstep future chart for the NASDAQ? It's really up to you on how you want to do your analysis. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Who in here uses multiple platforms? I always do my analysis on the platform I trade on. So if I'm trading on Topstep X, you can see, I'll do my analysis on Topstep X, and I trade on Topstep X. I don't like to have multiple platforms. I do have 4 monitors. So I have 4 monitors, one on my right, one on my left, and then a monitor above each of them. But I only use one monitor. So I'm only looking at one monitor. That is what you see in front of you guys. I have the YouTube and the YouTube chat on this monitor. I have internal chats and with the moderators and Discord on this monitor. And then I have OBS on this monitor. So the only monitor that I have that is associated with trading is one. You only really need one screen to trade, for me anyway, because how you see it on YouTube, just right here, one chart, and then the only thing that's not on here is my DOM, but the only reason I don't have this showing is because you guys could see the charts a lot better. And so I've tried it. I've tried having like 4 or 5 different charts open. I would have the NASDAQ on one. I would have like Apple and the Magnificent 7 on another, and then I'll have a different market on another. And that was just too much for me. It really split my focus on way too much. And so to me, it was the simpler the better. If I'm just going to focus and see how this one market reacts. Maybe I'll take a look at like Tesla, Nvidia, and the Magnificent 7 every once in a while just to see what they're doing. But simple has always worked for me. I don't like a lot of charts open. I like to only look in one monitor. And then especially when I'm having a class, yeah, it's a lot simpler. The more monitors you have, the more money you make. I wish that was the case. I wish it was. Zeus. I mean, to each their own, right? That could also make sense. That also would make sense if you have a monitor on a different platform that you execute. I mean, there's no wrong answer, to be honest. We are seeing a spike in volatility. Let's take a look at, it's 8 p.m. Central, and we usually see a spike in volatility right at 8 p.m. So let's see how these markets are going to react. Gold is pushing to the long side. Ooh, let's compare this. Yeah, gold is breaking to the long side. I want to see this. While we were just talking about it, here is the silver chart. And here's gold. What a difference. Gold on the left, silver on the right. Not much opportunity to trade silver, right? 1 minute chart for each. Just watching. Yeah, I like volatility. Volatility brings opportunity. I mean, nothing against silver, but silver hasn't moved. So far, nothing. Gold is pushing up. We'll see. I wonder. I'm curious if silver is going to eventually catch up with gold. And I'm sure somebody in the chat has traded silver and knows a lot more about this than I do. If gold breaks, will silver break? Gold's continuing to push higher a little bit. Silver just not moving. I don't know about this. This is interesting. It does mimic, but it mimics at its own pace. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about silver. A lot of traders have been talking about it. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, it's just not for me. You can see how gold, nice breakout, and that was a decent opportunity if you was going to get long on the breakout. Silver, yeah, I mean, NASDAQ, ES, they're very similar if we're talking about sister products. There's a lot more orders going through GC. Yeah, and that's about volatility, right? Volatility and liquidity. There's more volatility and liquidity in gold and orders going through gold than there is silver. You know, gold's over here pushing the highs of the session highs, and then silver's, you know, pushing down near the lows of this range. So it's weird. That's weird. That's why I don't like correlation, and this is a good reason why I just don't like looking at other markets when I'm trading this. Because if I'm trading gold, I care about what gold's doing and how gold is reacting. I don't really care about what silver's doing and how silver is reacting. Do you think we'll ever get micro Nikkei in Topstep? I hope so. I mean, if you go over here to this question mark, you could go in and, you know, see if that feature is available, or, you know, micro Nikkei, and you could put it in or you vote it up. So I'm always rooting for micros and ways to manage risk, and the micros would be great as well. So the more traders who want it, the more likely it would be to be put on. That's how it works, right? Built by traders for traders. 30-minute bullfrog on ES micro Nikkei would be cool. Yeah, it would. Yeah, see, look, these are acting opposites of each other. I was really curious to see how gold and silver would react, and we had gold push the highs of the session, and silver's pushing the lows of the session. So, yeah. You want DAX? Ooh, I want DAX as well. And I know D, who trades the London session, would love to have DAX. Let's see if gold will break out. Gold's testing right here the highs of this session. Gold reversal incoming. Yeah, sometimes we see a gold reversal like right around 10 minutes after the 8 p.m., like 8:10 p.m. A few more questions here. Could you give some advice on trading choppy markets like the open yesterday? Would like to learn how to trade ranges. Choppy markets yesterday. I don't remember yesterday's trading. But if you're referring to like choppy markets like this, then you want to buy the lows and sell the highs and look for reversals. Or just don't trade it. That's usually a better option. If you're not good at trading the markets, don't trade the markets that you don't like. Like if the market is not acting the way that you want it to act, and if it's not fitting your strategy, then 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, the best thing to do is just sit on your hands, don't trade, and come back another day. And that's the beautiful thing, is we don't have to trade. Trading is optional. And if you don't like the market condition and what the market condition currently is, then you just wait. Like that is the best thing. Maybe what you could do, and this is something I do myself, is, okay, markets are choppy. Let me practice a strategy. I either start a combine, I do a practice account, and I test a strategy. And when I test a strategy, I'll try and trade, for example, okay, this is a very messy market. I don't like trading this market. So let me trade a practice account or a combine, and I'm going to buy the lows, sell the highs, trade reversals, and practice. I'm all for practicing. Practice makes perfect, and I think that's a very valid thing to do. But yeah, best advice, don't trade it. Just wait until the market conditions fit your strategy. That's my vote. Well, that was interesting to watch. like gold had a nice rally up to the new session high and had a pullback, and silver just did its own thing and went down to the session lows. Didn't really have a spike up to the session highs very well. So that was an interesting thing to watch. Now gold is pulling back and silver's starting to bounce. Right now they're not really correlated. They're kind of just in a bit of a mess. So anyway, I think that is all I wanted to see on there. Let's take a look at what Nikkei's doing. Nikkei's having a nice little pullback here. Like to see that. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. I'm on the 1 minute. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. Interesting for NASDAQ here. There was a nice trading opportunity here in the NASDAQ that I noticed. It played out right at the start of slow markets, not the class, but during the new session. We had this bullish flag pattern, okay? We broke out during, it looks like power hour. We broke out, we came back, we tested. So let me just run through this play by play. I'm going to show you this on the 5 minute, then I'll show it on the 1 minute, of course, because I do like this. I like it a lot, actually. And I like, this is my favorite pattern, I guess, is 5 minute chart, and then I'll zoom into the 1 minute chart and we could break it down a little bit further. So 5 minute chart, we had a breakout during power hour. At the end of power hour, it looks like we pulled back down to support. This was resistance. Resistance became support. We went back up and we started a bullish flag pattern. And when we did that, then there was an opportunity to buy and a breakout. And that was a beautiful breakout trade. And so now on the 1 minute chart, so you can see it looks a lot cleaner on the 1 minute chart on the breakout. So here is the breakout on the 1 minute, the pullback, and the test of support. And there is the flagging pattern. And then when we finally broke, there it is. And so here we are again. And this is something we could watch tonight, actually, is take a look at this. This was resistance, right? Resistance has started to become support, right? Support. And now the question is, are we going to have that same flagging pattern maybe? Or is this just going to be a pullback and then a continuation? We could realistically see, maybe is this market going to come up and test 470s? That's a possibility. Maybe we even come and test the session high around 500. That could also be an opportunity. But looking pretty bullish just for now at the moment. We'll see. And of course, it looks a lot different on the 5 minute. It's a lot more condensed, and you can see there's a lot of buyers stepping in right there. And then gold looks like, let's take a look. Gold is selling off. Gold completely reversed that move. We take a look at silver. Silver is starting to sell off. How far can we go is the question if we do. I don't know. This is a bullish market, so maybe this is a buy the dip opportunity. See, there we go. Look, see, gold didn't even break this. Gold hasn't broken this area of support, and then silver did. Silver broke it, and silver pushed down further. Jumping back these different markets. There's NASDAQ. NASDAQ's pushing up. Session high is going to be around 460s. I'm watching, not seeing too much. Maybe maybe an opportunity on the Nikkei. I was looking for us to come back down to this area, so that could have been an opportunity. Let me take a look at the 100 tick chart. Yeah, maybe a deeper pullback. Still, I think I'm okay with just sitting on my hands for now. Sitting on my hands might be the best option. And while we sit on my hands, let's get to some more questions. Could you walk us through your morning routine? I don't have a great morning routine. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. I think, I don't know. What's everybody's opinion in here on a morning routine? I mean, it's very important to have a clear mindset, and I think there is a purpose for a good mindset, because mindset is, to me, one of the most important things in trading. It's up there with risk management. And yeah, I do wake up. I like, for me, consistency is a very, very important thing when it comes to sleep, your morning routine. You wake up, I don't know. I don't know how in depth I really want to go. See if it's weird. But yeah, I think something like waking up consistently and then doing like a little bit of exercise. I shower before I start my trading. It helps wake me up. I'm trying to get rid of energy drinks. I'm trying to get rid of caffeine in my mornings. So that is also part of it. It used to be I wake up, I take a nice shower, I try and get a little bit of a workout in, and then I drink an energy, like not a full energy drink, but I'll take a couple sips of an energy drink. And so I'm going to get rid of the energy drink side of things, and it's been a little bit difficult for me. It's been harder for me to wake up, I guess, if that makes sense. Steven, what kind of question? Explain your morning routine. It's not stupid. It's not, because I'm willing to argue 95+% is mental. And part of mental is that. It's the morning routine. It's the psychological part of trading. You don't just like roll over, log into your phone and start trading. That's not right. That is definitely not right. Sev, Kev, Dakota, explain your setups that you promised. I didn't promise anything, dude. It's a slow markets class. If you join me every night, all right. Okay, sorry, but I will not accept that stuff. I'm getting... Chat moves too fast. Chat moves too fast. Okay, anyway, next. Like I said, I'm here to help traders, and if you don't believe that that's part of trading, then move on. It really is. It's a big part of trading. I could sit here for hours and hours, talk about how important your mental health is, and those little details of a morning routine will affect your trading. It really is. Some days, if you're not feeling good and you're not feeling great, then you shouldn't trade. If you didn't get a good night's of sleep, if you didn't get a good night's sleep, you should not trade, right? And we're making decisions. Like, these are not little decisions like, oh, what should I wear today? What color of shirt should I wear today? We're making decisions that affect our trading account, like financial decisions. Am I going to be making or losing $5,000 today, $10,000 a day? And if you trade for a living, then those decisions have an effect on your life, right? Am I going to be able to pay my bills based off my trading? And if you decide to trade and you're sick and you end up hitting your daily loss limit, what's the first thing you're going to think of? I shouldn't have traded because I don't feel good. And it's just like a professional athlete. You do not want a professional athlete playing a game or playing like the Super Bowl on 3 hours of sleep, on feeling sick, not a bad diet. Like, oh, I ate some bad pizza last night right before the Super Bowl. You're not going to go out and binge eat McDonald's right before a Super Bowl, right? That's BS. You eat, and that's why professional athletes pay for a professional chef, because diet and exercise and sleep and everything that goes to your mental and physical health is just as important as clicking the buy and sell button, because anybody could click and buy a sell button, right? So it's heck, I'm kind of tempted to just spend the rest of the class talking about how important the mental side of it is again, just despite that person. Anyway, I think everybody in here who's been around for a while understands it. For the traders in here that are new, let me know. I hope that you'll start to also understand that as well, that you could talk to any professional trader, any professional athlete, any trader with, I would dare say, a few months of experience will start to tell you how important the mental aspect is on trading. And it builds, sleep, diet, exercise, your morning routine, I would even dare argue your routine for the weekend, right? Like, how do you prepare for the trading week? Do you analyze your trading strategy? Do you analyze your trades for the past week? Do you analyze the market? Do you look at what news is upcoming? We have great traders here at Topstep, like Nick for a Tick, who does a Sunday night, and he goes through this as well. We have Coach Jay at the buzzer. When the markets are done trading for the day, Coach Jay does at the buzzers to review what the markets did for the day, what to look for. I do my slow markets class, and we look at how the markets reacted throughout the New York session, what to prepare for tonight, how the markets are reacting tonight. And so we have traders around the world. It's an international company, and it's morning for some traders. It's afternoon for other traders. It's midnight for traders. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about trading, is traders from around the world in all different time zones can trade. And so maybe it's a morning routine, maybe it's an afternoon routine, maybe it's your bedtime routine, whatever it is, it will have an effect on your mental health. And then your mental health will have an effect on your trading and how you trade for that day. So anyway, there's my fun little rant, I guess. That being said, I'm still not really seeing much in these markets. I'm still just interested in this gold and this silver. Let's just watch it. Let's watch gold and silver we could watch it together on a 1-minute chart. And I'm just interested today and curious on how they react. It looks like silver is not as bullish as gold. You can see how gold had a nice little bounce recovery. Silver, it's having a little bit off that sell-off, but I mean, still not even close in comparison, because now gold's back up here getting ready to push these highs, it looks like, session highs, and silver's still down here. So just lots of chop. I don't mind. Well, we're going to watch these two. I'm curious to see how they're going to react and how it works out. Looking choppy. I'm long gold already. Let's get out and push, as Hogue will say. George, I would reach out to the Topstep team. How many combines and XFAs did you blow up before you became consistent? Henry, I did enter the Topstep already as a full-time trader. So I was already a full-time trader before I started any Topstep accounts. But it depends on where you're at. Like if you are brand new and you're just starting your trading journey, odds are you're going to blow some combines. Like, I would be surprised if you didn't. I think the more important thing is how you blow those combines. Like, are you just going to go in and buy combines and trade big size and try and pass it in 2 days? Then I'm going to say you're going to blow a lot more combines than a normal person. If you're going to come in and get some combines and slowly trade and try and find consistency in your trading, and maybe it takes you a month, and then you blow a combine in a month or maybe even 2 months, then you're not going to go through as many combines. And I'll even argue that a trader who takes 2 months to go through a combine is going to be more successful and consistent than a trader that comes in and blows combines trying to pass in 2 days. And there's Danielle. Shout out to you. Tuning into slow markets. Talking about blowing trading combines. I go through combine. I've went through my fair share of combines. I even messaged Danielle today asking about blowing combines. That was a topic of conversation. And it was random, but it was a topic of conversation. It is because it's important for new traders to understand and not go through that mental hurdle of like, I've blown too many combines, I'm going to give up trading. Everybody does it. Maybe there's one trader out there that starts trading for the very first time and magically never blows a combine. That would be interesting. That would be crazy. I'm going to switch to a 5-minute chart. Actually, 1 minute's just too messy. Yeah, look at this. Gold and silver are not acting the same. They're acting opposite of each other right now. 5 months, nah. Greetings from Baja, Mexico. I just watching. I'm seeing it does look like gold might break out to the long side, but then silver's pushing these lows, which is interesting, very interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at this as, take a look at this nice rally. Maybe we have consolidation, and then we look for another rally to the long side. So I'm looking for a continuation here in gold. I did say on that higher time frame, on that 30-minute, that we're going to be running into some resistance. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this is why I don't trade market correlation. I would be thinking that silver's up here pushing up to these highs, but it's not. And gold is. Have not seen Danielle in a while. Dude, Topstep's growing so fast and so much. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, maybe she'll come back more. It's nighttime. Maybe she's busy sleeping. I don't know. We always had a back and forth. You know why she hasn't had to come back? Is because I've been so good at going through my show notes and being able to talk about everything. And so I haven't needed to have my slap on the wrist for not doing a good job. That's why. That is why. Let's go through. In the chat answering questions. They took off training wheels. Yeah, they took the training wheels off. And now we're talking about my morning routine. Look at gold pushing these highs. Let's see if silver will catch up. See, who would want to buy silver here, think it's going to catch up? Because sometimes I always think that whenever I'm watching markets like this. It's like, oh, well, if they're correlated, gold's already up here, so silver should catch up. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And I look at it the same way as I look at the NASDAQ and the ES, where I'm like, oh, NASDAQ's already pushing highs. ES needs to get back up to the highs. Yeah, I never know when she's checking in, so I always have to be making sure I'm doing everything 100%. 100%. No slacking off for me. Going to bed since we're talking about sleep. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I don't have the amazing voice like Rips, but if you want to use slow markets to fall asleep to, man, be my guest. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Maybe a breakout opportunity on gold. Somebody said they were long gold. Who in the chat's long in gold that trades gold? Or you know what, better yet? Are you guys trading gold or silver right now? Gold or silver? Who's long what? I am long. Who's short? Ooh, who's short? That's the scary question. Me long, flat. NQ long. I'm long. Turtles going through some of the. Watch gold. Both short. Okay. Just going through them. I'm not going to do a poll because I want to see what your guys are actually saying. Who's making dinner? Now you're going to make me hungry. Let's see if this is going to be a breakout or if we're going to, turn around. Silver's catching up a little bit, but silver's not breaking out. Not seeing a breakout on silver. I want to see if silver is going to break out here. Interested in your reversal points? Thought maybe silver could catch up. It seems like to be a very, very key level for silver. $31.40. $31.40. Now we're completely reversing on gold. And is silver going to completely reverse is the next question. Wow, what a reversal on gold. And silver is not doing much. Yeah, you can see how silver's a lot more tame already. Like seeing this craziness happen on gold. And you can see it better on the 1 minute where, look at this. Yeah, see how gold just went straight up and right back down, and silver's just being a little bit more consistent in its actions. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna. I don't like arbitrage. I understand it, but I'm not an arbitrage type of guy. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. You don't have to worry about me talking about arbitrage. It's just a term where you would buy one, sell another. Or, oh man, I mean, in a sense. Okay, here's a good question. Knowing that 90% of traders see the same patterns but use different exit strategies, how would you tell traders to look at the market differently to gain an edge? That's a good question. How would I tell market traders to look at the markets differently? I don't know. I don't think I would tell traders to look at the market differently. I think looking at the risk management side is the edge for me anyway. And so to me, it's less about looking at the markets different and more about looking at the risk management different than most traders, because it's more about the risk management side. So risk management needs to be different because we could all see the same patterns, right? And patterns are so simple. You could just Google like any pattern you want, Google it, and you could understand it. I mean, explained a couple of one, and patterns repeat themselves, and patterns do work sometimes, not all the time. And it's more about the risk management. For example, let's take a look at this NASDAQ. This pattern that I explained on the NASDAQ, everybody could see this pattern, right? You guys could all see this pattern. I talk about this pattern all the time. It happens over and over again. It works. This pattern works. It doesn't work all of the time, but the way traders approach this pattern is what makes the difference. The risk management and how to trade this is what makes the difference. Where are you entering? Where are you exiting? How big of size are you entering? Yeah, the risk management and trade management is far more important, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to continue. We're going to continue. I want to continue watching gold and silver just because I'm curious to see how it reacts. That's all. Like I'm just really curious to see how it reacts, and yeah. NQ going to rise. Dakota, every experienced trader get their setups which make them their bread. I think I understood what you said. Yeah, every experienced trader has their own trade that they like and that they're the most consistent of. Is that what you're trying to say? Shorts winning tonight? I think maybe, yeah. I mean, this is something that I'm watching to see if we're going to bounce off here. But gold and silver, they're kind of correlated. It's just gold is more volatile and it's less per tick. I was really thinking that silver might come up and test these highs, see if silver would break out. Silver seems to be just slow and consistent, similar to the ES, and gold is just pretty wild. Yeah, let's do that. Let's review statistics. I think it's now time to review some statistics. I went through plenty of questions. I still have more questions to answer. So last one, what's more important to you, entries or exits? I would say if I was to choose one thing that's more important between entries and exits, exits are a lot more important in my opinion than entries. Yep, because it's very easy to enter. It's harder to exit a trade. So that being said, let's review some trader statistics. Now, if you are new or if you'd like me to review your statistics, you just go over here in the dashboard. Let me get this to just one chart. And on the left-hand side, this is my live account. But there's a statistics in your combines and XFAs. You go through that and you can share them. And go ahead and share them. Give me a second and I'll post a link. You can share them in my Discord channel. It's in Topstep's Discord. It's my channel in Topstep's Discord. And we'll review some statistics tonight. Preferably XFAs. And if you do put a note, it's a lot easier for me to review statistics if you have a note on them. Yeah, a lot easier. Notes help because when you review statistics, the more information you have, the better it is. Trust me. Sometimes, like, what do you talk about when reviewing statistics and all of that? Let me go through, and it'll take me a minute to go through some of them. You guys are posting your statistics, but not leaving notes. Why not? Why not leave a note? Watching GC. Yeah, I'd never understand everybody. Let's take a look. Express funded accounts. Now the goal for me, and hopefully the goal and everybody in here watching can understand and share the same sentiment, that the reason why I want to review statistics is to help traders. I want to help traders. So please leave a note on what you want me to review. I'm pulling up your statistics and we learn from our losses. So don't be scared to share an XFA that you're struggling on. So here is the first one that I am seeing, and let's review this. So this is an XFA, and the reason why I like to review XFAs is because it's the next level, right? We have a combine, we trade a combine, and once we pass, we'll be able to activate an express funded account. Now, an express funded account has pressure. When you make money in an express funded account, you can be eligible for a payout. So now that leaves plenty of pressure. It's very similar to a live account, and that's why I like reviewing these statistics. So let's look at it. This XFA looks like it was started in September. Let's make sure we have all the statistics. So yeah, let's go through this. I'm going to see what I can and give criticism where to hopefully it will help this trader, right? That's the goal, and we can all learn, and let's go through this. Great winning trade percentage, almost 60%. However, the risk reward is below 1%, or below 1. It's 0.82. And so that's hovering, right? It's a lot harder to keep a higher win trade percentage because you have to be right a lot more than you're wrong. And so I'm always for, if you're going to work on a statistics, and this is me personally, I like to work on your risk reward. And so, that could be something that you could work on, understanding where your stop losses are and holding traders, or holding your winners longer, cutting your losses quicker. So it looks like you started out pretty well, making money in this account. And then you had a couple really bad days and then kind of been maybe hesitant, shy, but you have not blown this account. Like I can't say that enough. How important it is to not blow an account, right? I mean, if you lose money, okay, size down, trade, practice. I've talked about it before. It's a lot easier to dig out of a hole trading small and consistent rather than trying to get out all in one go, trading like big. And so let's keep going through this. Average winning trade, $29, losing trade, $35. You can see that one day wiped out quite a few of your winning days. Going through this decent bell curve. Looks like you've held a couple. I mean, it's a good hold time, decent hold times. Let's take a look for September's. Not too bad. I mean, trading small. Looks like your winning days are about 200. Your losing days are about 200. So not bad. Just that one day. Not too much to critique here. Looks like you're trading micros. So I like when traders trade micros for a reason, not just a ton of micros for the heck of it. Trading micros for a reason. So I like to see that because you can make good money trading micros. Looks like you had a couple good winners. So yeah, nothing too crazy here. I don't see too much to even work on outside of your risk reward. Just keep trading. The more statistics, the better. The bigger the sample size, the better, of course. And so, yeah, that's all I'm really seeing in terms of this one. Let's take a look. I'm going to look at some more. Now we're getting some in. Here's a good one. Let's go through here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, here's a trader. So now this some notes. And it says, you reviewed my account once before about getting, I was concerned about getting anywhere. Still in the same boat. But since then, I broke out and went into a losing streak. Just this week, started coming back after dealing with Hurricane Helen. Let's take a look. Give me a second. I'm going to review this. So these were all the way back from July. My nose has been always itchy. Let me just go through here. So here's a great example. I love to see the amount of time you have been in this XFA. That's beautiful. Look at all this data. Like, data is very powerful. It really is. It helps you understand. And the more you have, the more you can understand. Let's review. Winning trade percentage. That's good. It's right around 52, maybe closer to 53. Yep, this is an XFA. And you have a good risk reward. That's great. That's good. And so you're positive. You're up $1,300. And so based off of this, if you trade exactly the same and you have been and experienced different trading environments, you've experienced July, August, September, and now we're into October. And so you've been through multiple market conditions. I love to see that, to where you're not just blowing your account, you're not trading too big, and you're experiencing multiple market conditions. I love that. Your average trade duration, 22 minutes. That's what we want to see. I love seeing longer trade durations. Worst trade, best trade. That's good. I mean, it's not too bad, right? Average winner, average loser. That's the thing to see. Look, I just love seeing all these statistics. Going through there, everything seems pretty mixed, pretty choppy. You're gaining that experience. Decent bell curve here. A couple losses. You've held them for 1 or 2 hours. Nothing's, I mean, You're not trading every day, which is a good thing. You're being very selective in your trades, right? 1 trade, 2 trades, not trading every single day. So you're being selective on that. I like to see it. So this is September. Let's start with July. I remember seeing these statistics, to be honest. Let's see here. Going through. Not too bad. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to really say on this outside of you're doing the right thing. You're struggling a little bit, but this is the right direction. This is the direction that you want to be, having a positive trade percentage, having an average risk or loss. It might be just something that you're doing in your strategy. This to me, it's keep working on it. Sorry, that might not help a lot. But if you can do this, then that's what you want to see. You want to see a lot of time in your account. You gain that experience. You gain the experience over multiple market conditions. And this is consistency. I'm sorry, everybody, but consistent is boring. It really is. Being consistent is about being boring. That's the reality. That is. So love to see it. Good job. I mean, yeah, you might not feel like you're doing anything great for the past week or so. Let's take a look at that. Look, $200 yesterday, $200 the day before. Looks like you're probably eligible for a payout. You're not trading every single day, so don't be too hard on yourself, to be honest. Like, this is good. This is good. Silver's blasting off. Okay, well, gold is not, but silver, let's take a look. Silver's, I mean, yeah, for silver, that's blasting off, I guess. Interesting to see. Let's see if silver could break. I'm I'm changing topics. That's okay. 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 Let's see this. Silver is making a move. I'm curious to see how silver reacts on a breakout. We're going to watch this together. I'm going to compare this back again. We're going to get gold up here on the 5-minute, and we're going to get silver up here on the 5-minute as well. Let's take a look. I want to see how if silver breaks out. Let's see this. I'm comparing this again, and this is an important moment because this is a major, you could see that's a very major support and resistance here for silver. We broke out. That was a pretty vicious breakout, and we are right back where we were. Right back at that. Gold didn't break out. Gold kind of pulled back a little bit. So that's interesting. Let's see if silver can hold a breakout. I'm curious how silver reacts. Like I said, I'm new to silver. A lot of traders were talking about it. I'm just really curious to see how a silver would break out. Not much. Not a lot of volatility. Maybe we could do something like this. Maybe we could see, I mean, this was during the New York session. I mean, I don't know if we could expect that big of a move during slow markets or if silver does that. There's no stopping the Nikkei. No, yeah, that was one of them, right? Who had to mention Nikkei? Take a look at that missed opportunity. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. Oh, well. That's what happens when you're in class, right? Sometimes you could... Yeah, there's an example of technical analysis. Who took along Nikkei? Shout out to the chat. Let's see. Did anybody take along on the Nikkei? Let me know. You took that trade? Great. Good. I mean, it's not a signals class, but that is a beautiful example of a trade setup. If it fits your strategy, great work. Good job. There's a slow markets trade. That is why I love slow markets. Now, how much? Now, I want to be honest. This is what I like to do. I'm not going to say, oh, how much would I, could I, should I have made on that trade? But let's put it into perspective, okay? Let's do a realistic expectation. And let's say we were waiting for this pullback. We got this pullback. Now, it's very unrealistic to say I caught the very bottom of it. However, it is realistic to say maybe you got in long here at 700, okay? And maybe you weren't going to catch this entire move up, but you were just looking for a move to these highs. So I know I like to say this. Maybe we already take a percentage off the top, a percentage off the bottom, and this is more realistic. Say you caught this trade and you were able just to catch a piece of it, right? And maybe you're holding on to a runner. Great, because this thing could continue, right? And Nikkeis can move very viciously. We could even see it, maybe we even see it at 40,000 tonight. But yeah, this is very realistic. From 700 to 780, that is 40 ticks. 40 ticks times 25 on a single contract. I very rarely do this. You made $1,000. That doesn't seem right. No, that's not right. You've made 400. I don't know, man. I'm way off. It's 16 ticks. $400. So that was a $400 move on the Nikkei on that pullback. And then for me, the risk would be the bottom of that candle. And so this was a decent 2-to-1 risk reward with an opportunity to hold onto a contract longer. This is the type of trade I absolutely love. I feel a little bit bad that I missed it. I have my live account here. It was queued up. I called it out. I just did not execute it. So sometimes that absolutely sucks, but it is what it is. And yeah, 2-to-1 risk reward during slow markets. Like this is, what do we want to call it? Proof. That's why I love trading this time. There's always opportunity in the markets. It doesn't matter what time of day, there's opportunity. You don't have to be trading one market. You could be trading different markets around the world. It's the beautiful thing. Now, anyway, take a look at gold. Yeah, so far silver's holding the breakout. I like that. I like that silver's holding. And now they're starting to get in sync a little bit. Gold and silver. I like that. That's very good. That's nice to see. And I'm curious if we could have continuation. Here we go. Testing a high. Gold still not past the high of there. Interesting. Man, silver can move for the tick amount. That's a $700 move on silver right there. And gold's starting to break out now. Gold's trying to break. Yes, the daily loss limit on the live accounts is set by the risk management team. I'm keeping mine at 3,000. And the nice thing about a live account, guys, is you can adjust your daily loss limit. You could have that conversation with the daily loss limit or with the risk management team and adjust. You could increase your contract size. This spring or the previous spring, early summer, I was trading 30 contracts in my live account. I had a $12,000 daily loss limit. Now I'm down to a $3,000, not down, but this is a new account. I was on NinjaTrader. I'm now on Topstep X. And now with Topstep X, I have a $3,000 daily loss limit. And I could trade 15 contracts. And now when I say I can trade 15 contracts, I can trade 15 contracts. And it's not paper. It's real live money. And that being said, I'll show you because I've been watching silver. And if silver pulls back, I want to be a buyer. I want to be a buyer of silver if we can pull back to maybe 375. 375. If we could pull back to 375, I'll be a buyer. So if we look at this, you guys could see this, pull up your DOM, and if we pull back to, say, silver is moving, say 390, maybe, let's see. We're going to see if this is going to work out. Actually, you know what? I think I might like Nikkei better. I like Nikkei a lot better. Nikkei looks like a better buy to me, right? Nikkei is probably a better buy. And so I might want to buy Nikkei at the low of the session. And so if Nikkei gets down to 39,515, I'll be a buyer. And if I want to buy 15 contracts, you can see there's one contract there on the order book. Let's see. Oh, I think it's at 10. Let's go through. I'll do 10. See how it turns into 10. I'll have to double check. So it should be 15, but so 515, there's one contract there, and then you put 10, now there's 11. So this is a live account. It's real money. Yeah. SevCav, why? Because it's not spoofing, right? And I decided I don't really want to buy down there. Just kind of demonstrating something. Sev, you really think? Okay. All right. Just really showing that. Okay. That's all I was doing. But for legal purposes, I did want to buy Nikkei. It didn't get down there fast enough. Make change. Let's see. Let's take a look at, I think it was, I need a test. I'm checking something right now real quick. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So here's the right thing. It's NASDAQ. I don't really trade. In no way should I ever be on 10, 15 contracts on the Nikkei. But here's the NASDAQ, right? This is the same situation. There's the 15. If I want to get, let's find an area of support. If the NASDAQ gets down to, where would we like it at? If NASDAQ gets down to maybe 429 would be a nice buy if NASDAQ could get down to 429. So maybe 429, I might want to get into 15 contracts. And you guys, everybody with your account, you guys could see these orders. See, there's 18 contracts at 429. If we get down there, I'd be a buyer. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, NASDAQ's looking probably a little bit bullish, so never mind. And then those contracts are gone. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's the difference between a live account and a simulated account. Live account, the orders go through, it's real money. Live, and you could have that conversation with the risk management team, and that's the flexibility, right? This account's at like 145,000. You could adjust the daily loss limit. You could adjust the contract size. Like I could call Mick up tomorrow and be like, hey, can I change my daily loss limit to 6,000 and have 30 contracts? And then, they go ahead and open me up, right? Or maybe I'm just like, I'm not trading very well. Can I change my daily loss limit to 2,000 and only 5 contracts? So yeah. R-Bear, one Nikkei contract scares you. Yeah, so don't trade it, right? You never want to trade a market that scares you. That's for sure. What's silver doing? Yeah, silver's kind of done. Anyway, well, we only got to one statistics. Let's go through a couple more really quick and then call it good. I always want to go through a couple more. Let's take a look at this one. Real quick, started in September. Let's go through here. Rapid fire statistics here. Love this trader. This trader trades very similar to I do. I have a good risk reward and a low trade percentage. So this trader is losing about 6 out of 10 of his trades, but he's still profitable. He or she's still profitable because of the great risk reward. Started down in a hole. You were able to recover that. You didn't recover it. I like that you didn't recover it all in one day. You took the time, you traded consistently, and you got yourself out of the hole. Yeah, look at that. See, you don't just get out of there in one day. It takes time. I like to see that. Too many traders get too tempted to revenge trade and try and make that up immediately. Beautiful bell curve. You're cutting your losses short. So I like that. Keep cutting your losses short. That's a good thing. You're letting your winners, trader, the trades that are lasting the longest, you're letting them run. You're journaling, maybe more journal entries. I'd like to see more journal entries. I love seeing journal entries. You had those too. You already traded tonight. You already had one trade. You traded a micro NASDAQ. You got in long. Okay. And yeah, it looks like you had that one bad day and you've came back. So great work on that one. Trader J, can you swing trade your live account? I don't have mine set up, but I did confirm with MP is that when you're up there and you show consistency, you can have that conversation with the risk management team. And MP did confirm. He said, hey, if you have a trade that you are in a good position and you want to hold it for longer than a day, then you can have that conversation. Like, that is a very realistic thing to do. So here's another trader statistic, kind of going fast. Here's one. Ooh, got an email from the risk management team saying that they're keeping an eye on you. This is a new one. You're up 6,000 already. Looks like you're trading pretty big. There's not a lot of statistics to go through on this. So far, so good. Keep it up. Just understand that when you have a losing day, do not let a losing day wipe away your profits. Maybe this is a good example. Have a daily loss limit. You don't want to give back your profits. No, it's very hard to analyze, 3 or 4 days, right? So just keep it up. Understand daily loss limits are very important. Maybe even doing some journals. Here's another one. I like this. Trader's been in this account for a while now. And we'll have this one be my last. 4,000. It looks like you had one really good day and then you're starting to struggle. Good risk reward. Maybe look for A+ setups, right? Maybe be more picky on your trades. Looking through this, I'm just going to skim through this really quick. It's mixed on here. A good amount of your trades this is a good bell curve, but it is mixed on winners and losers. It's around 50-50. Maybe be more selective on your trades. That would be my only recommendation whenever traders start to struggle. I think maybe scaling down or being more selective. Maybe trading micros is also optional. Looks like you already had 10 trades tonight. Already 10 trades, NASDAQ and ES. So I would dare say be selective. Some of the best trading I've seen has been, a few trades a day, not too many. So being more selective can always have its benefits, especially when you're struggling or sizing down, right? Sizing down. Okay, well, we're coming up to the end of class. Now, remember, guys, don't miss it. We're talking about trading psychology. We talked about, a morning routine. Also, you could bring that up with Brett Steenbarger. He's going to be on the 15th. What is today? Today's the 10th. So in 5 days, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to mention that every single night because it's probably going to be one of the most important guests on Topstep TV. I love that Topstep's brought him back. You guys get it for free, which is just amazing. It's like the value that Topstep continues to give to everybody here on YouTube. And if you're even not at Topstep, even if you don't have a Topstep account, you have access to this, which is still just crazy, because it's like, well, typically you'd have that only for paid members type conversation. Like, oh, only Topstep traders could have access to this. But no, it's here on YouTube for everybody. So enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. And then even giving the traders, like everybody here, the opportunity to come on to Topstep and trade with us. Maybe I could work with them and see if one of you guys want to trade with me live during slow markets. But then we might run into something slow like we did with Nick for a tick, and we're just sitting here talking about what we had for dinner or something, like that past with the pros, right? Danielle says, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I could see that one day. I've been teasing my private group coaching session. I'm going to continue to tease that. Traders who show up for class consistently have more of, what do they call it? On my good side. So that way, I don't know if we're going to do a draft, more information to come, but traders who are here every single night, maybe you don't make it every night, make it every other night, maybe make it a couple times a week, be active. I notice that. You guys might not think I do. I notice things. I enjoy the conversations. Yeah, I recognize like Walter. I recognize you. I recognize obviously Topstep rules. I recognize Masked Trader. I recognize everybody in the chat, and new or you've been here for a while, like understand that. Yeah, there you go. Blue Boy, I know you're here a lot, and even if you don't catch class, if you're not able to catch my live class and you're watching this as a recording, you could tune in to the Discord and chat in that channel. Like I have that link for a reason. Right. There's the channel there, and I don't know. The other last thing is, I don't know how active I'm going to be on the Twitter, on Twitter, or X on X. I mean, okay, I gotta see. I don't know how active I'm going to be, but maybe I do something there. I don't even know how to share my Twitter. I haven't posted anything. I don't know how to share it. Do I even care if I share it? I don't know. Maybe I'll figure that out later. How do you share a Twitter? No Twitter. Or X. How do we share X? I don't know. No idea. Well, anyway, if you find me, good luck. If not, oh well. I'm trying my best over here to be on internet, social media, okay? I don't know how to copy my URL. Okay, ooh. Come on. There it is. Anyway, I need a new profile picture. I'm going to go take some headshots here this fall, and starting to work my way to that, just continuing to push professionalism. Professionalism and positivity will do wonders, a lot more of any of the other drama and craziness. So that's what I'm striving towards. I know Jay is. I know the other team members. Professionalism and Danielle. That was a handle I could find, okay? Yeah, that's the one. Coach Dakota was taken. We could have a conversation there, but I mean, that is what it is. I like it. I say Coach DBA sometimes. It's my initials. It's good enough. You guys see my name there. I even have the blue cloud, the blue check mark thing. So, okay, now I'm rambling on. No, Danielle, no one calls me that yet. Okay, nobody that you know calls me that. Okay, a lot of people in my personal life and outside in smaller trading groups, that's how they know me. Okay, there's a lot more Dakotas. There's other Dakotas out there. I don't know. Coach D just does not sound right. Doing business as. Okay, chat. Everybody in chat, you guys now need to just start calling me by Coach DBA. Okay. If everybody references it to me, then that's it. I'm Coach DBA going forward. Yeah, no Coach D. No. Okay, I'm ending it there. Okay, guys. I'll catch everybody bright and early tomorrow morning for Fast Markets, Coach Jay and I. And if not, I will catch you until then. Take care and enjoy. Sleep well. Bye.